What's up, guys? Organized Crime Gamers here, bringing you some more classic gameplay. Today we're doing Kid Chameleon from the Sega Genesis. A lot of people that had Sega probably had this game. It's a classic platformer, definitely one of the best games I ever played on the 16-bit console. It was originally released for the Sega Mega Drive. That was the big Sega. I think it was in '88 that was released, but when it was released in America in '89, it was with the Sega Genesis, which was the smaller Sega. Kid Chameleon's about a kid named Casey. He's like a tough guy, leather jacket, blue jeans, sunglasses, all that. And a new arcade game arrives in the town that he lives in, and it's called Wild Side. And kids that are playing it start to disappear. It turns out that the end boss of the game, this guy named Heady Metal, is kidnapping the kids that can't beat the game. So if you lose the game, then you're getting kidnapped, and it doesn't really go into much more detail than that. Like I said, the game's a platformer. The key thing about this game is that you get a lot of masks. There's a bunch of different masks, and each mask gives you a different power and a different ability, and I'll get into all that in a little bit. Like I said, the arcade machine, the end boss from the arcade machine in the town was kidnapping kids, and this kid, Casey, or Kid Chameleon, as he's called, decides that he's going to go in the game and beat the end boss and save the kids and just be a big hero. The game boasts of having over 130 levels, which is pretty impressive for a platformer and a 16-bit title. The levels have all kinds of different obstacles, enemies, etc. There's also teleporters in some of the levels, and some of the teleporters will teleport you from one point in the level to another point in the level, and then there's some teleporters that'll just send you to a totally different level, which is pretty cool. In the original game for the Sega, you couldn't save your game, which really sucks, so I guess you had to leave your system on, and when you got out of school, come home and play it or whatever. That would just be horrible, though, not to save a game. Like I said, each mask that you pick up, it'll transform you into a different character. It'll also restore your health. You get an extra life every 50,000 points. And all right, let's get into the masks, what each mask is and what the abilities are. All right, to start, we got the regular Kid Chameleon. He's just the regular kid without the mask. The only special ability he has, I think, is to pull himself up on ledges. The first mask that you get in the game is the Iron Knight, and his ability is he's the strongest, he has more hit points, and he can climb walls. The next mask is the Samurai, or the Red Stealth. He has a sword, he's faster than the other characters, and he can jump higher than the other characters. The next mask is the Berserker. It kind of looks like a rhino. It has horns on top of a helmet, and the special ability is you can charge through walls, so kind of lame, that one. The next mask is the guy who looks like Jason, or he's modeled after Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. His name is Maniacs, and his special ability is he can throw an axe. Yeah. The next mask is the Juggernaut. It's an army tank with a skeleton driving, it looks like, with a helmet, and you shoot skulls out of the cannon on the front, and they ricochet and hit stuff. The next mask is the Fly, or I think it's called the Micromax, and you can stick to walls, and you're extra small, so you can get into different areas and different spots. The next mask is the Cyclops, or the Cyclops. I think this is the lamest one. You have a gun, it shoots stuff out, you can see behind walls, kind of stupid. The next mask is the Sky Surfer, and you get a hoverboard that you can fly around on, kind of like Back to the Future. I think it was the second one, where he had the cool skateboard that hovered. The hoverboard is pretty sick. The last mask you get is called Cyclone. It's like a superhero guy, and it gives you the ability to, when you jump in the air and press C, you spin like a tornado, and you can ricochet off stuff or bounce off stuff, destroy weak walls, or kill enemies with that. Alright, now we're going to have some gameplay. Just a couple levels that I thought were cool, and some masks that I thought were cool. The first level we'll be playing is Underskull Mountain Chapter 1. And I think this is the first level where you actually get the Maniac's mask, or the Jason mask, as you can see there. Now the gems, from what I've read about the gems is certain characters, once you collect enough gems, like 50 or maybe 10 for certain characters, maybe 20, 30, you can have more abilities or your abilities get better. I'm not really sure about that, but I read it, so I'm pretty sure it's true. I'm just not exactly sure how it works and the science of it. Like I said before, or no, I don't think I said this. You get hit points under where it has the time. You see those 3 circles? Those are your hit points. So you get hit 3 times, I think, and then you get turned back into the regular Kid Chameleon. And then after that, you can only get hit, I think, a couple times. Here's some gameplay from the next chapter on Skull Mountain. It's under Skull Mountain 2, and you get to beat the Juggernaut, the tank, which is pretty cool. You shoot the skull out of the front. It can ricochet off and hit enemies. You can shoot a bunch of them at once, and they'll all just bounce off the walls and everything until they disappear. Another attack on this game is not all, but a lot of the enemies you can jump on their head, kind of like a Super Mario, like the original Super Mario. You jump on their head, and that'll kill them or hurt them. See how he turned back into the Kid Chameleon, and then you only have 2 hit points when you're regular, and boom, you're dead. All right. This is one of the harder levels I played. It's called Monster Island. It's difficult. I had a lot of trouble getting past this one. It's just non-stop enemies spawning. There's things flying all over the place. As you can see, I couldn't even keep my power ability for a long time, so there's so much going on. I tried to just make a break for it, but the enemies just keep coming. That's Kid Chameleon, though. Some of the levels are a breeze. You get the mask, you need to beat the level, and you're in and out, no problem. And then some levels are really difficult. One last note before I get out of here. You can play Kid Chameleon on a couple different recent games. Give me a second. All right. One of the games is called Sega Genesis Collection. It was on the PS2 and the PSP. Another one, I don't know what console it's for. I just know the title of the game is Sega Smash Pack 2. So you'd have to probably Google to find out what that is if you're interested in that. And this is one that I've seen at GameStop a lot. It's called Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection. It's on Xbox and PS3, and it has a lot of good games for Genesis. I can't remember all the games. I think Echo the Dolphin was on there. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was on there. Kid Chameleon, Golden Axe, or maybe Altered Beast. I'm not sure, but if you get that Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection for either Xbox or PlayStation, you can go to GameStop and get it for like $10. It's definitely worth it if you like classic games. This is Organized Crime Gamers, Kid Chameleon, Sega Genesis. Awesome game. Check it out. Peace.